right, good afternoon everybody. So today we're going to do a little bit of a different type of format than what I've been doing with the other videos that you've seen put out so far. And today we're here with Aydin. Aydin, I said that right. And Aydin is what is known in the common foreign or gringo circles as a fixer. That's what foreigners always call you. Okay?
Yes.
And what that means is that she is somebody that helps people to get things done, especially when they need things done in Spanish.
Yes.
Now it goes way beyond that, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today on a lot of the services that she provides that is beyond just simple translation services. And I'm going to ask her a bunch of questions. We're going to do a bit of an interview. And in this area, as far as I know, she's the only one that does this type of thing, and she is absolutely the best.
Thank you so much.
So, comes highly recommended. Everybody that I've ever known that's used you has always been extremely happy and always posts a great review on Facebook and all those types of things. So, I've never heard anybody say a negative word. So, that's why I think it's important to sit down and introduce the people that watches the videos to you. So, okay, so let's get started with a few questions. And basically, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I was raised and born in Panama City, and I moved to Pedasi just after the lockdown opened a bit. I decided to move to Pedasi because I wasn't working, and my daughter decided that she was going to move to Cañas. And she told me, why don't you move to Pedasi? And I was like, I'm going to do in Pedasi. He said, what are you doing in Panama? I said, okay, I'm going to Pedasi. And she mentioned that there was a big community of expats here already when she came back in 2018. And I was very sure that I was going to get along with the expats.
And have you enjoyed being here since you moved here?
Yes, pretty much. I enjoy nature and I enjoy being here with all what it is.
With everything that is Pedasi, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Eh?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Okay, so helping people is mainly what you do, right?
Yes.
Yeah, which is the big thing. What inspired you to want to help people?
Well, my professional background, I always work in as administration manager. And when you're doing administration, you have to learn a little bit of everything. Legal, marketing, and administrate the company, blah, blah, blah. And most of it is always solving problems every day. Every day there is a new problem. It's like you are a fire department and there's a fire. Shit, I have to, sorry. So you have to deal with this fire and you have to stop it somehow. You have to find a way to stop it.
Yeah, you just explained every entrepreneur ever. That's what you just explained, the life of every entrepreneur. So
and also the way my father raised me. He taught me about this Mensaje Garcia, which is this soldier in the Mexican Revolution.
Okay.
The general gave him this letter, and he said, you have to deliver this to General Garcia. The soldier didn't ask, who is General Garcia, where he is, how can I get there? So all those questions that you always have to know in order to solve a problem, that's what this soldier did without asking immediately to the general. The general only one solution. So the customer is the general. They say, I need this, and you need to find how to do it and find a solution.
Right.
The best one.
Right.
Not just any solution.
Right. Right. So that brings us to, what's the name of your company?
Simple Solutions.
There you go. I think I just figured out why it's called that now. So I think it's that's a good name then, based on that. So Simple Solutions, and you see it pop up on the Facebook groups and whatnot all the time. Simple Solutions, which I think is an awesome name for what you do as well. You know, keep it simple and come up with the solutions. Okay, so yeah, being an organized person with helping other people is obviously extremely important, right? So having that ability to be organized is super important to get things going through. Okay, so we know you speak Spanish.
Yes.
We know you speak English.
Yes.
Do you speak any other languages?
Unfortunately, not yet.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's good for people to know, though. You know, there's a lot of Germans flowing in right now, and there's French people that are coming here all the time.
Hey, but I have helped German people, Italian, and thank God they all speak English.
Right.
And so it's okay. Perfect. I mean, we always find a way. Yeah,
perfect, for sure. Absolutely. No, in my experience with most Europeans that are coming here, and most Europeans that have traveled seem to have some level of competent English, it seems anyways, for sure. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what you do exactly. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the situation, okay?
Okay.
So what services do you help people with?
Well, even though my business is called Simple Solution, I have started to call myself like the concierge of Pedasi.
Right.
Because I'm helping in any situation someone get like they don't know how to handle. Usually the most common are like getting my driver's license, if I didn't homologize my paperwork from the US or from the original country. Opening a bank account. Where can I open a bank account? It depends if you have cellular or you don't have cellular, because not all the bank has all the same requirements.
Banks here are not equal, that's for sure. It's complicated, yeah.
See. What else? If you have a car and you need to transfer the car because your car when you bought it was registered somewhere else.
By the way, I need you to help me do that. Just what we're thinking about it. Both my cars are registered somewhere else, so we got to talk about that when we're done. Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes you need to do some paperwork and you don't know how to get there or where to or what to do, or you get drawn by bureaucratic, and then I go with you to help you.
Right.
And maybe it's just a paper that will take you 15 minutes, but because you don't deal with the language, and sometimes in the governmental office are not so friendly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know I've seen a lot of people post thank you messages about you helping them with their Naturgy. Naturgy is the electrical service that we all are forced to deal with here, by the way. So I know I've seen a lot of people, you've helped them with their Naturgy bills when there's been something wrong.
Yes.
Or their mass mobile or cellular phone bills.
Getting a Panamanian cell phone.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they went to get the cell phones and they thought they having this plan, and the agent didn't understand what they really want, so they put in another program and they say, oh, this is not what I want, so I fixed that.
Right.
And because I've been doing this for a while, I already created a network, and sometimes I don't even have to go to Las Tablas to fix anything, just by chat I can help you solve the problem.
Well, and I think that's a big thing that people don't realize here. It's a lot of, well, it's anywhere in the world, but I think even in Panama more, it's more about who you know. Right? So having the right connection at the Naturgy office, or having the right connection at the cellular phone office, or
I'm still working on getting a contact in Naturgy.
Everybody is.
I have an email, but still haven't waited for the WhatsApp number.
Yeah. But knowing the processes, you're not just calling and translating for people. You know some of the processes, right? So,
I guide them and advise them according to what is happening. Yeah. Because I mean, there are things that I say, hey, I mean, you do what you can, but sometimes it's beyond your...
Yeah. But you have experience. It's not your first day at the rodeo, right? When it comes to a lot of these things, right? You have experience going through with many different clients over the last few years that you've been doing this. And I think that's important beyond just bringing Spanish and English to the table. I think having that experience is what makes you kind of special, right?
Yeah, so, thank you.
You know, tell me a little bit about who's your typical client. Do you have a typical client, or do you have some categories of typical clients, or you know, what are the majority of the people that call you most of the time for help?
I mean, they're all expats, especially from the U.S.
Yeah.
Also Canada, and today I help a couple from South Africa.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice because I'm in Pedasi, but I'm dealing with different culture.
Right.
And it's it's really nice to meet people from different cultures and see how they behave, what are their expectations from Pedasi while they move to Pedasi.
Right.
I mean, even for example, when you travel, one of the things that feeds your soul is knowing the people from the place you're in. And in here it's very nice when you can deal with different cultures at the same place.
Yeah, it also makes life more interesting, right? So there's very little routine, I'm sure, in what you do. Every day is a little bit different, and you get up, put your pants on, and have an adventure, probably, right? So that's what makes life better when you can do that, right? So if you're just in an office all day putting a stamp on a piece of paper, it makes the day go by pretty slow, right? So. Do you find that you get more people that are new here that you're helping, or do you have people that have been here for a while that you help, or is there an equal mix, or where's the majority that you...
Both.
Yeah.
New people that hear from me that they say, oh, I need someone to help me. Sometimes they can have, for example, all their paperwork, but there's the language gap, so they'd rather me to go with them so they are sure that whatever they're doing is perfect.
Right.
And they don't have any struggle, or because sometimes you think, oh, I have everything, and when you go to the place, the agent say, oh, you're missing this, and they say, I have no idea what you're talking.
Because
so they have to go.
It's Panama, so sometimes you still have to go back anyway.
Yes, and also I have frequent customers.
Okay.
That they have to do, for example, first time it was a driver license, they transfer the car, then they say, I'm going to get a trailer, and then how can I do this? And now I started a new entrepreneurship of selling insurance.
Yeah, I saw that. I wanted to ask you a little bit about that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not a broker.
Yeah.
I work together with the broker that I'm working since more than 10 years ago.
Okay.
I work with her. I started working with her when I was administration manager in a company in the free zone in Colón.
Okay.
And I trust her, and I think trust is super important because you cannot trust anyone.
Yeah.
You have to know with whom you are working with.
Yeah.
And I trust her. I started to trust her once because we have a warehouse in the free zone, and I don't know if you know, but in the free zone, many owners fire their warehouse so they can claim the insurance.
Okay.
And that's the reason why the insurance were so expensive in Colón.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was a fire very close to our warehouse, and she called me, oh, Aydin, the company wants to increase the... It's not happening. It wasn't my fire. It's not my problem.
Right.
No.
Right.
And no means no. I'm not paying a dime more.
Right.
Okay, and I don't know what she did, but she did it.
Nice.
So I like to work with people that or are like me or compliment me.
Right. Result-driven people.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. So what... I think this is important because it's a question that I get asked, and we may do a whole other video. I may have you come in, and I get asked all the time about insurance because people come here, and the general gist that when you read in all the different Facebook groups or all the different WhatsApp groups out there is a lot of people come here and they say, oh, you don't need insurance for medical, or you don't need this, just pay out of pocket. What type of insurance are you helping to people connect with? What are you doing?
Well, right now, mostly our car insurance,
Okay.
because I'm getting great deals. The broker I work with, she has an amazing relationship with the insurance company, so she negotiates really good prices.
Okay.
The insurance project began when I realized that in Pedasi, if you have an emergency, that is life and death emergency, the hospital we are here is not even a hospital. It's a small clinic.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter the size of that clinic.
Yeah.
It's a clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a matter of life and death, I started to thinking, oh my God, there are so many retired people here that you have to drive all over or to Las Tablas, or even further, you have to go to Chitre.
Right.
And if we're talking about stroke or a heart attack or something like that, So I started like that.
Right.
But right now, I mean, as everything in life, first you need people to know you.
Yep.
Once they know, oh, she's good at this,
Yeah.
I can. So right now I'm starting with a small, which is card, but I mean, if someone thinks that's what they need, and you can have medical attendance here in Panama. You don't have to fly to the U.S. or whatever your insurance is.
Right. So that's part of some of the packages that come out in the insurances to help deal with it.
Yeah, and the air ambulance, the land ambulance, it depends.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
talking here about health insurance, it will take longer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like I said, we might do another thing regarding that to help people learn more about that. There's a lot of bad information. I think there's a lot of misinformation, and I also don't think there's a lot of information about insurance. So it's good that you're involved in that and people know they can come to you that as well. Medical stuff. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know people personally that you've helped with medical things, where they've had medical problems, things like that.
I take them to the doctor, make the appointment, translate. I knew some doctors because in my family I have cousins that are doctors. So sometimes when the customer said, "Oh, I didn't have this problem, I have this pain," so I talk to them because you cannot trust any doctor. There are some doctors that are happy knife.
Yeah.
They want to. Oh, yes, they make a surgery.
Surgery. Yeah.
And they told me, okay, go here or not here, even in Panama City, if this need to.
Right.
Unfortunately, here in the Azuero area, not many doctors speak English.
Yep.
Because they think they don't need to learn English.
Right.
In Panama City, is something different.
Yeah.
Most doctors speak English.
Yeah, there's a different level of education depending on where you are in Panama, for sure. Yeah. So if a client has an emergency, have you had people that need to call you during an emergency to help them out? Is that something that you offer as part of your...
If someone has an emergency, I'm Panamanian, and I believe I'm a host for the expert here. If they have an emergency and they need my help, I will help them. Even as a human being, I will help them.
Sure, absolutely. See, that's beautiful people in Panama. That's just what it is, right? So, absolutely. Do you like helping people?
I do.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell by just simply talking to you. You can see the glow in your eye when you talk about actually helping people.
I don't know. I think that's my life purpose, and I think it should be everyone's life purpose is to help people. I mean, you need to make a living because we all need money to pay our bills, to eat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to have the life we all deserve. But I love helping people, and I love at the end of the day say, I did it.
Right. It's a good sense to have a sense of accomplishment.
I have this problem. What can I do? I say, I have no idea, but I will help you.
We'll figure it out together. Yeah, we'll figure it out together for sure. For sure. So I guess the big take on this is a lot of the things that you help people do, you've done before. So it's not like they're paying you to
do the research
and discover all the time. A lot of times you've been through the processes, especially driver's licenses or bank accounts or these typical kind of routine things. You've been through it, so you become an expert, I guess, on where to go, who to see, things like that, right? I remember, so she helped us when I had to get my driver's license transferred over, and I remember you knew exactly what clinic to go to, you knew what to ask for the blood test, you knew this, you knew that, so even though you charge by the hour on what you're doing, it's not like you're wasting people's time. You know what I mean?
Because I hate losing my own time, so I won't make you lose your time.
Yeah.
And it happened to me that helping people getting the driver's license, and they say, "Oh, I have my blood test already," and when we got there, "Oh, this is not the authorized lab that we accept here in Central." And I say, "Oops."
Yeah. So knowing the processes is extremely important. The bureaucracy in Panama can be frustrating, especially for new people. So knowing the bureaucracy, I think, is something.
I mean, it's frustrating for me.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating for everybody. I know it's frustrating for everybody. Bureaucracy is bureaucracy, but I think knowing, some of the processes because you went through it, it saves people a lot of time, I think. Especially now you've been at it more and more years doing what you're doing, I think you become more of an expert on what's going on. Until they change the rules tomorrow for no reason, right? So,
exactly. That happens.
It happens all the time here. So, but knowing that and being on top of that. And I also see you put out updates sometimes, or you put out pre-information. I know, for example, the driver's license book. That was something that you discovered through your research. Can you talk a little bit about that?
No, I knew about it. What I realized is that many people, when they're buying their cars, it's a used car.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that when they're buying the car, the former owner didn't explain to them all the paperwork they need to have in the car. And one of them is a driver license manual. If a police want to be picky and they request you their papers and you don't have it, he can give you a ticket just
Right.
because you don't have that book.
Right. It's a technicality that most people, I don't, most Panamanians even have that in the car, but if a cop wants to find a reason to give you a ticket, they'll just say you don't have your road manual in the car. And that's something that I know you put up. Can you think of any other little examples that you've kind of helped people with in the general community? Things like that driver's license book. Is there anything else? I know you were putting out updates for a while. You were kind of giving people a little bit of advice so that you didn't have to repeat yourself all the time.
Yes, that is one of them. The other one is to remember that not any lab can be used for getting their driver license. It has to be an authorized lab by CERTRASEN.
Right.
So it's not that you can get the driver the blood test here in Pedasi and take it to CERTRASEN. They will say no,
Right.
Jose.
And then you have to get it done a second time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, it's not about the money; it's about the time.
Yeah.
What else? What about car paper? I have many tips, but it's
That's okay. We don't have to go through it all. It's just those little things is what I like that you put out sometimes. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? Hey, did you know? So it's beyond you just waiting for people to call you and take them to the bank to translate. And that's what I think is really cool that you're doing is you community build and whatnot. So
even for bank accounts, there are different scenarios.
And sometimes the bank today and the bank tomorrow ask you for different paperwork. That's been my experience as well. So you become an expert, and then tomorrow the bank changes the rules. Because the bank is a form of bureaucracy here, as we all know. But maybe people that are coming here don't know that, but we know that. So it's part of it. So okay, awesome. Well, it was great. I'm sure people enjoyed getting to know you. We're going to put your information in the bottom of the video so people can contact you, especially if they're coming here and they need your help. So the big thing is she helps, and then you don't have to ask me to do everything. I'm just joking. I'm here to help as well. So, but I don't, as you know, I don't always have time to go to the bank with people or those types of things, and this is what she specializes in. So it's extremely important, I think. And Pedasi is a small community, and I can guarantee that there's nobody that comes better recommended for these types of things. So it's important to have this type of thing within transition, and then like I said, even beyond transition, there's sometimes things that we all need help for within the expat community. So if you have any questions, post them below. Don't forget to like things, don't forget to comment things, and look forward to finding out what you guys think about today's video. Okay, thanks a lot guys, take care.